Week 8 rolls on here in USL League One. Some Friday night football from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. It's New England Revolution 2 hosting Fort Lauderdale CF. Tonight's match is presented by United Healthcare. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us. Just this one game across the league on this Friday night before a busy weekend upcoming, but it's two interesting sides. They met in the season opener all the way back on April the 10th. But looking at tonight's player to watch presented by Santander Bank, it's Ryan Sierakowski. He was the one to score the lone goal on the night for a 1-0 win for New England Revolution 2. It's his first season with New England after time with Real Monarchs and Portland Timbers in the past. Clint P.A. has said he likes what he's seen from him so far, but still looking for him to take that next step and become that consistent goal scorer like 2019 when he scored 8 goals for Timbers 2 in the championship. On the other side for Fort Lauderdale, an exciting night for Ethan Harden last time out against Chattanooga, scoring his first pro goal. It's a big year for Harden, who has continued to grow, and he's assuming that leadership role in this team after being named captain. Darren Powell said he likes his ability to organize defensively, and Harden will be making his 8th start. He's played every minute for this team. A look at the standings presented by Dan O'Brien Automotive Group. Fort Lauderdale sitting in 3rd place on 9 points. New England Revolution 2 on 4 points, sitting in 8th place. So we are building up to first kick from Gillette Stadium. These two teams met all the way back on April 10th. They go at it again tonight. Lineups and first kick coming up next from Foxborough. Getting set for first kick tonight from Gillette Stadium. Tonight's match is presented by United Healthcare. Well, we will hear from both coaches tonight, but first, let's hear from Clint P.A.
They're all very comfortable on the ball. They like to keep possession so they can kind of frustrate you at times because you can end up doing a lot of running defensively, which can be discouraging. So, you know, we have to make sure that we can disrupt that possession, and also when we have the ball, make sure that we take care of it so that we don't give it back to them.
Lineups for New England Revolution 2. They are presented by Michelob Ultra for Clint P.A. 2 changes in the lineup. It'll be Christian Mafla coming in along with the goalkeeper Earl Edwards Jr. Aside from that, a pretty similar lineup to what we have seen in the past. They will have that 3 at the back. So we just heard from Clint P.A. Now let's hear from Darren Powell.
Yeah, I think New England's progressed as well. I think similar to ourselves, they're learning their team and learning one another and progress well. So I think it'll be a very good soccer game where both teams will look to break one another down. And I think it comes down to both penalty boxes. If you can take your opportunities in the opponent's penalty box and then make sure that you're able to prevent the opponent getting opportunities in your penalty box.
And here is the lineup for Darren Powell and Fort Lauderdale. Just one change. It is Christian Lu Young coming in at right back while Brian Rosales misses out tonight. He came off injured against Chattanooga. And Josh Penn will also be in the starting lineup tonight once again. And Harvey Neville makes his second straight start here for Fort Lauderdale. Those lineups are presented by Michelob Ultra. So some players on the field, and we are just about set to go tonight. It's time for our injury report, and that is presented by Shields Healthcare. Drew Harden misses out, and Thiago Mendonça does as well for both sides. So Fort Lauderdale comes on the road for the second straight week. It's just a scheduling quirk that both these teams' last game was against Chattanooga. Our Geico keys to the game for New England Revolution to keep evolving. As Clint P.A. put it, he's a bit of a tinkerer, so he'll be tinkering with his team throughout. And for Fort Lauderdale, keep the intensity throughout. Darren Powell hoping to see that mindset go throughout the 90 minutes. We are underway now from Gillette Stadium, a rematch of the season opener. All the way back on April the 10th, a 1-0 win on that night for New England Revolution 2. And we'll see now what we get here tonight. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for being with us. Starting this USL League One weekend, Week 8 already across the league. So last time out for New England Revolution 2, that 2-2 draw right here against Chattanooga Red Wolves. They went up 2-0. Noel Buck was able to score his first pro goal and then an own goal. But on that night, Clint P.A. said, felt like kind of against the run of play that Chattanooga scored. He kind of mucked it up at the back during that play, but he thought the 2 goals they did score were very well worked, and he liked ultimately the product they put out there, just unable to get the result on the night. On the other side for Fort Lauderdale, Darren Powell just said it came out of it on the wrong side. The late goal they conceded off the free kick, an unfortunate deflection at the back, put Ramos on side, and he thought his side did an admirable job defending. They executed the goal well off the corner kick. There are momentum swings throughout, but ultimately just couldn't get the win on the night. And one notable player out tonight for Fort Lauderdale will be George Acosta, who misses this trip. As Darren Powell put it, just kind of player management. He's coming off an injury last year and maybe picked up a bit of a knock last time out, so just trying to make sure he is good to go for a big stretch of games upcoming, and a quick turnaround for Fort Lauderdale. They will play Tuesday against Forward Madison. And that'll be at home for Fort Lauderdale. So here tonight, we'll see whether Fort Lauderdale can come on the road and get the win, much like New England did early on this season. But as both coaches put it, it's 2 teams that look quite a bit different than what they were all the way back on April 10th, and that quick little footwork in the middle by Neville will spark this attack now for Fort Lauderdale. Evans on the ball. Evans sends the cross in all the way through. Josh Penn in the air trying to track this down now. Gets there in front of Presley and keeps it for the away side. Now Allen. Michel. Poplawski getting in there and committing the foul. Hear the whistle in the background from referee Christian Centeno. Now Presley. O'Hearn, who was actually the player of the week after that first game of the season all the way back on April the 10th. It's played in behind. Christian Lu Young will go and track this down. A goal and an assist for Lu Young on the season. Neville. Darren Powell says comes from a good pedigree. He had been playing with the Man United under 23 side all the way up until April. His pen is fouled. He says he can play different positions, but currently kind of sitting in that midfield. He played a little bit deeper last week against Chattanooga. Really controls things nicely right in front of that back four. Number 6 in white. And here is Neville. Harden starting at that left center back position tonight. Darren Powell says he's left foot dominant, but can really use both feet well. As Hundal loses us out of play, throw in coming for Fort Lauderdale. Hundal on the turn against O'Hearn. Loses his footing. Rosansky comes out with it. Rosansky, quick little turn. Finds Sierakowski, and now Presley. You see this 3 center back system being utilized once again by Clint P.A. with Kaye, Dulis, and O'Hearn, the 3 center backs. Mafla, the Colombian, along with Presley providing the width as wing backs. And a free kick given the way of Fort Lauderdale. O'Hearn trying for that long switch of play. Rivera there at the end line, trying to keep this in and unsuccessfully. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Played back for Mendez. Bit of a tricky situation here as Fort Lauderdale looks to play out from the back. This is put out for a throw and going the way of Fort Lauderdale. And there's a look at Darren Powell coming on the road once again tonight. He still likes the way his team is moving, but as we said, for those keys to the game, keeping that intensity throughout is very important for his side here tonight. And he says that mentality, if you instill it into young players, that'll stay with them throughout their careers. So trying to get it into their brains here at a young age. Look at the NL replay on the foul by Maciel. Pardon me, Michel. Poplawski. Here's Lou Young. And now Evans. Miscommunication. This will funnel through for Earl Edwards. Making his second start here in USL League One. Spent a couple of years with Loudoun United, making 16 appearances total. It's his first season, though, here with New England Revolution. This will be a foul behind the play there on the pass. And a free kick coming for New England. And there's Clint P.A. in his second season at the helm of this New England Revolution 2 side. Penn got a touch on it. Now battle for it here in the midfield. Will be won back by Michel. Presley. O'Hearn trying to find space on that right side. Kaye carries it forward. Mafla's low ball in. Took a deflection on the way. And now a chance. Rivera. Rivera getting into the box. Collision with Mendez. And this will be the first corner kick of the night coming for New England. Here's Rosansky on the JetBlue corner kick. He's clearing something out of the way. It looks like those are masks. Rosansky now. Here's the in-swinger. Looking for Renix, who traps it. Presley on the follow-up. He's blocked in. And put out for a throw-in. Another look at it here on the NL replay. Well, Renix was able to stop that, and Presley had the shot come in. It was blocked down, and looked like somebody put their hands on their knees after taking that one right. Looked like in the stomach. Looks like Presley ready to throw this back in. Rosansky. There's Mafla providing the width. For Mafla, also his second appearance in League One. His first season in the United States from Atlético Nacional in Colombia. It was the last club he played for in his home country. Here's O'Hearn. Presley. In-swinger. Callender stays on his line. Mendez there to put this out of play. Dangerous ball in behind by Connor Presley. And on the NL replay, you see Callender, it looked like he took a step out. Might have been caught out in no man's land there had Renix been able to get a foot on that. And Renix loses possession here. O'Hearn sends it back in. Mafla will put this in towards Callender, who's down to put two hands on it. You'll see those wing backs in Mafla and Presley getting up and down the near and far touchlines all night long. That 3-4-3 that New England is utilizing tonight. Hundal is headed away by Dulis. Now Presley. Quick passing. Sierakowski. On the turn, will keep it for Revs 2. Michel getting it wide for Mafla. Some pressure from Evans. Still gets the cross away, was blocked down. And another corner coming for New England. Some early pressure here from the home side. Third corner kick here in the opening 12 minutes. Another JetBlue corner kick. Here's the in-swinger. Headed away by Lou Young. Maybe a chance for Fort Lauderdale to stretch its legs. Evans playing this down the channel, looking for Penn. It was covered well by Mafla. All the way back for Earl Edwards Jr. Kaye playing this in behind, looking for Renix. battling against Mendez. And it's Rennicks who commits the foul in the end. And Modesto Mendez wins a free kick for Fort Lauderdale. Look at it on the NL replay. These two just jostling for the ball. A busy week for some Fort Lauderdale players in Modesto Mendez and Dairon Reyes, who was on the bench tonight, both of them being called into the Cuban national team for their upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Really cool for both of those players, and Darren Powell very excited for those two to get that opportunity. There will be some Gold Cup qualification matchups coming up that Cuba potentially could be playing in, and those will be at Dry Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, so a chance potentially for them to represent their country on their home club field. We've seen that kind of throughout the USL with these upcoming World Cup qualifiers, Gold Cup coming up, along with the Nations League next week, so it'll be a busy summer for national team soccer. And of course, World Cup qualifiers really kicking into high gear starting in the fall. We saw that a couple of years ago, especially with the Gold Cup, kind of that trickle-down effect, especially for teams such as Fort Lauderdale and New England Revolution 2 that may not have been around in 2019, but we saw it mostly with North Texas, that when FC Dallas had players called up to the Gold Cup, that kind of that trickle-down effect where the depth was really tested from these teams and they had to bring up some academy players. So that's something to maybe monitor as this summer continues. As Rennicks is fouled, it'll be a free kick for New England. Rosansky and Michel stand over this set piece. Penn and Evans, it looks like, will form the two-man wall. Rosansky sends this towards goal, headed on and in! The opening goal for New England Revolution 2. It's the center back, Pierre Caille. Just his second start on the season and gets goal number 1 for Revs 2. Beating Drake Callender, perfect delivery. Another look at it on the NL replay. Michel ran away. Rosansky put this right where it needed to be for Pierre Caille, the Frenchman, to head it home. The first pro goal for Pierre Caille gives New England Revolution 2 the advantage. And that goal presented by Michelob Ultra. Pierre Caille, first of the season. Caille, who was signed already when this season had started on April 28th, made his pro debut in the last game against Chattanooga, now making just his second start. Played his college soccer at Temple, where he was the 2020 American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year. He's showing his offensive attributes here tonight. Good start here for Revs 2. And in that first game, It was really all about Fort Lauderdale in the first 45 minutes, but tonight, a little bit of a role reversal where New England Revolution 2 has really been on the front foot so far tonight. Played down the line, and Pierre Caillé steps in, and he was fouled by Hundal. And with the way that Fort Lauderdale likes to play, they like to get it wide for Penn and Evans and find that open space down the wings. But with this 3 center back approach, it makes it a little bit more difficult because you put those 2 center backs. Of course, you have the one in the middle, but those other 2 are occupying those spots through the channel. And it's closing down some of those spaces. Then Fort Lauderdale has to play a little bit wider. We'll see how that affects them. Rosansky quick on the ball. Keeps it for New England and pumps it forward. Renix couldn't get there in front of Mendez. So now it's all about the comeback for Fort Lauderdale for the 2nd straight week. They conceded first against Chattanooga as well. Good ball played into Penn. Penn cutting in field. Going down in the box, penalty! Noah Allen hooking up there with Josh Penn, and both of those 2 really started that advantage. It was Abel Caputo going down in the box, and almost immediately a chance now for Fort Lauderdale to respond. There's the penalty. Caputo going down. Dooley's commits the foul, and a spot kick upcoming for Fort Lauderdale. And Dooley still questioning the decision of Kristen Centeno, but that looked pretty clear there. And a chance now for Sean Hundal to step to the spot. Already 4 goals for him this season, this being start number 8. It'll be Hundal going up against Earl Edwards Jr. Christian Centeno making sure everybody's in their correct positions. And the test now is Hundal versus Edwards Jr. Just waiting on the whistle. Hundal has it saved by Edwards Jr. It was a comfortable height for the goalkeeper. And Hundal is denied from the spot. Here it is on the NL replay, guessing the right way and staying on his line. As the flag stayed down there from the air, we've seen a lot of that throughout world football here in the past couple of weeks. But Edwards Jr., magnificent job to stay on his line and make the save. And now it's the first corner kick. It'll be Noah Allen for Fort Lauderdale. Played short for Caputo. And now Allen. Deflected cross coming in. Rivera trying to carry this out. And the foul by Harvey Neville. They'll bring this back and that'll slow things down. But what an opportunity there for Fort Lauderdale to equalize. But Earl Edwards Jr., maybe an early candidate for save of the week. Long switch of play by Caillé, trying to get this over Allen's head for Presley. Harden will just thump this back forward right at the midway point now of this first half. And it's been Rebs 2 who's been on the front foot throughout. Just that one moment for Fort Lauderdale with Penn driving in field and finding Caputo, who eventually drew the penalty, but Earl Edwards Jr. coming up big from the spot to keep Rebs 2 on top. And early, it looks like we're seeing both of those outside center backs looking for those long switches of play. Both Caillé and O'Hearn have tried it. Did Evans touch that with his hand? If so, yeah, that's a yellow card. So Evans into the book. It's just one of those unnecessary yellow cards that comes from Evans. So that's something to monitor now as this match continues. Here it is again on the NL replay. I don't know what he was thinking there as that ball was clear out of play. Hit the ball on the ball stand. So a throw in now coming for Presley. Here is Presley. Trying to find some room to maneuver infield. Rosansky. There's space to work on the left. Mafla. Ball coming in. You see the record when New England scores first. That one draw coming last time out against Chattanooga where they were up 2-0. And then Chattanooga in that second half came out ready to go and was able to fight for a draw on the night. Renix now for Presley. Puts this into the middle, looking for Rivera. And Evans sends it back downfield. Dulis is the last man back there and just getting a touch on it. And now he'll settle things. And this is already game number 8 for Fort Lauderdale, and as we saw in the standings pregame, only one other team has played even close to as many games as them, and that is Tormenta, who has played 6. They'll play game number 7 tomorrow, hosting Forward Madison. Fort Lauderdale currently sitting in 3rd place, but right now on 9 points. So as the games keep on coming for Fort Lauderdale, maybe a bit more pressure as they've already played more games than some other teams to try to find some results. Mafla gets by Evans. Plays this ahead for Rivera and too heavy. And it's out for a goal kick. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Evans. Now Caputo turning around. Good pressure here from Fort Lauderdale as they try to get into the attacking third. And in that first game of the season between these two, the midfield of Fort Lauderdale was really dominant, but so far tonight it seems that New England has really put their foot down and they have been impressive so far. Foul in the midfield. And a free kick coming. Shell get this back rolling. Kaye for Mafla. Driving at this back line, going down. Was that just outside the box? And is that Venton Evans? He has to be careful. Already on that yellow card. And this is an early decision for Kristen Centeno. Another look at it here on the NL replay. Looks like the foul will be outside the box, and it looked like Evans also pulled up, holding that right hamstring. So a couple of things to monitor here. So just outside the box will be this set piece. And Evans might be a little bit lucky to still be on the field. As Mafla was turning that corner. So here's the set piece for New England. The in-swinger going low, and it's cleared away as far as Presley, who will keep it here. His shot on the follow-up is just wide. Nearly catching Drake Callender out. Callender had that one covered. Harden. Send this long over the top. Penn trying to go quickly here. Penn comes centrally, now Hundal. Sierakowski providing some pressure while tracking back. Maybe a chance here in transition now for New England. Rivera. Taking off the ball, and Evans going back the other way. Venton Evans slowing things down. Lou Young continuing his run. He's cut off by Kaye. Clint Pierre has to like this start from his side right at the half-hour mark. Here's Evans. Good challenge by Mafla, winning it back for New England. Trying to send Renix into some open space. Justin Renix still looking for that first goal on the season. Start number 5 for him. His last goal coming all the way back on the last day of the season against Forward Madison at Hart Park at the end of the 2020 season. Cut out. Poplawski, Neville. Good build up here. Poplawski through the middle. Now Hundal. Sean Hundal, saved by Edwards. Second time Edwards Jr. has denied Hundal tonight. Corner kick, Fort Lauderdale. The NL replay. Hundal, the angle was always going to be tough as he continued to move towards that end line. As Noah Allen will now provide the in-swinger. Caputo giving him an option short. Allen will send this in, looking for Harden. Take a touch. Let's see who's going to get it here. Another ball on the field as Edwards Jr. is trying to go quickly. Gamesmanship there from Josh Penn. And it looks like now we're ready to go. Sierakowski on the turn. Presley. Renix is in the middle. Presley. Oh, good ball in. Renix just couldn't meet it. On the follow-up, Neville there to clean up for Fort Lauderdale and just put this out of play. Darren Powell missing the exploits of George Acosta tonight. He's been such a creative player for this team. And he Team does not have him off the bench. Now it's Rennicks trying to turn the corner. Good challenge between him and Mendez. He still did get across away. It's still there, and Callender reaching out, using all of his wingspan to pull that in. And he'll distribute quickly over the top. Looking for Hundal, who will try to win this second ball, and does. Heads up play there by Hundal. Allen. Another look at this on the NL replay. Good job of Rennicks keeping his balance, still just able to touch that into the middle. And a good save in the end by Drake Callender, making his third start. Made his League One debut against Union Omaha and featured in the games against Tucson and Chattanooga as well. Fort Lauderdale knocking it around, looking for an avenue forward. Some pressure being applied by this New England side that seems to be full of energy tonight. We said the key for Fort Lauderdale was to keep that intensity throughout. I think the same could be said for New England, though, especially after what happened last week against Chattanooga. Can they keep it up for 90 minutes and not switch off? Rivera. Space opening up. Rivera gets this wide. Mafla, one-time cross. And they couldn't keep it. And Evans a chance to run back the other way. Being chased by Rosansky, and the ball did go out of play. Throw in New England. It's those transitional moments that New England has done a good job to stymie. Just the one time where Allen played in pen down the near touchline that forced the penalty. Rennicks gets it wide for Mafla, continues his run. Mendez just thumped this out of play. Presley cuts in field. Sierakowski. Now Michel, wide for Mafla. Now Rivera. Michel will clip this in. Header coming on by Sierakowski, not too much power on that. And easily taken by Drake Callender. Well, the USL on ESPN continues with a midweek rivalry matchup on ESPN Deportes Thursday, June 3rd. Copa Tejas returns when El Paso Locomotive visits Austin Bold for a 9 p.m. Eastern contest in the Lone Star State. It's El Paso and Austin on ESPN Deportes Thursday, June 3rd at 9 p.m. Eastern. Bold Stadium inside Circuit of the Americas in Austin, a fun setting there. Make sure to tune in for that. Here's Neville. Hardin trying to play this ahead, but once again, that pressure there from New England, right in that midfield 4. There's another diagonal looking to find space for Presley, who cuts in field. I've seen Presley quite a bit cutting in from his right wing back position tonight. Allen. Another long ball from the back. That's been a storyline here in the opening 40 or so minutes for Fort Lauderdale. And a lot of long balls, trying to win those second balls. Played back for Edwards Jr., who's come up with 2 big saves on the night. One from the penalty spot, denying Hundal. Michel ahead for Renix. Jostling for position with Mendez, and Mendez wins out once again. Reflecting around, and a throw-in given Fort Lauderdale's way. Allen get there. It's Presley sliding to ground. And O'Hearn will play this back for Edwards Jr. Who's come all the way out to this near side. Mendez controls, and now Callender. Final 4 minutes plus stoppage time of this first 45 minutes. New England in firm control at the moment. We say firm control because when teams score first in League One this season, 22-3. And Fort Lauderdale is 0-3 when conceding first. So the numbers not going in the way of Fort Lauderdale, but we'll see if they can turn the tide here in this. Kaye, Renix. A little push in the back from Mendez. Michel will put this back into play. O'Hearn sends this in back post. Down for Renix. Justin Renix looking for a window. Saved by Callender. Keeping it at 1-0. And denying Renix of his first goal of the season. Beautifully done by Drake Callender. Here it is on the NL replay. Surely it was going to be 2-0 to New England. Callender did a great job just tracking that run through a couple of bodies there in defense and forcing a corner kick. And right now for Renix, he just can't find the back of the net. Here's the in-swinger. Good ball, but taken by Callender. Quick distribution for Noah Allen, trying to catch New England in a transitional moment. And here is Allen carrying it all the way forward. Options ahead. Here's Josh Penn. Penn's cross, teasing ball, and headed out of play. The left back, Mafla, tracking in and there to put that out for a corner. Fort Lauderdale will take its time. Abel Caputo will send this corner kick in for Fort Lauderdale. Here it is, back post. Hardin's there. and it's just wide. It's exactly where he scored his goal from last week against Chattanooga. This time, not able to find the frame. Here it is again on the NL replay. Good service in. Good depth to it. And Harden just couldn't find the frame. What was so good about that header last week from Harden as he headed it back across the frame of goal, which is always so difficult for goalkeepers. Usually, as a center back, there's a yellow card given to Poplawski for crashing in. As a center back, or really anybody there at the back post, you're always told, head it back across the frame of goal and hit it low. Kind of a reckless jump there by Poplawski, putting him in the book. So 2 yellow cards have been issued tonight, one to Venton Evans and the other to Poplawski. Still awaiting the verdict of stoppage time. There will be no stoppage, or there will be no United Healthcare stoppage time. And we head to halftime. It is 1-0 to the home side. New England Revolution 2 looking to hold on and keep this advantage, looking for 3 points for the second time this season. And there is the goal scorer, Pierre Caillet, his first pro goal and his first pro season. So they will head to the locker room. We'll see what we have for the second 45 minutes. Stay with us here on the Gillette Halftime. It's New England Revolution 2-1. It's Fort Lauderdale 0. So an exciting first 45 minutes here from Gillette Stadium. And it's the home side that has the 1-0 advantage at the break. Stay with us. We'll take you around the midweek action across the league and get you set for the weekend. It's the Gillette Halftime here from Gillette Stadium. Halftime at Gillette Stadium between New England Revolution 2 and Fort Lauderdale. Halftime is presented by Gillette. Well, one of the newest signings for New England Revolution 2 is Hikaru Fujiwara, and let's hear a little bit more about his story to getting the signing. A busy week in USL League One already. A couple midweek matchups to look back on here on this Friday night. We start in Madison, Wisconsin. The sun was shining at Breese Stevens Field. The drinks were flowing. It's going good to see people out and about again, especially back at Breese Stevens Field. A big deal to have the flock back in attendance and ready to go in Madison. There will just be one goal in this game. Adi Jepson playing a through ball for Justin Suko. He would provide the finish, and Forward Madison would come away with 3 points on the night, the first loss of the season for Union Omaha. And these two teams will meet up in just a few weeks' time right back here in Madison. So the Flamingos get the win. Then to the Desert Derby, if you want to call it that. Tucson taking on Toronto FC2. João Delgado, what a finish. And then he says something to the camera and celebrates, but that was a great first goal. Then Derek Korf would just find a loose ball in the box, and he would finish it to make it 2-0 to FC Tucson. This just within about a 5-minute stretch there in that first half. There would be a consolation goal in this game for Temi Antonoglu as he would provide the finish. 2-1 to Tucson though on the night, and they come away victorious with 3 points, taking down TFC2 on Wednesday. So that's going to do it here for those highlights. The second half is on the way from Gillette Stadium.
I did get an interesting text from someone in the Phoenix organization talking about how big and physical that game was, and maybe they didn't necessarily know it was going to be just like that. I think they got a good taste. By the way, in case you're wondering, Forrest Lasso is competing for the Summer Olympics in gymnastics. Just wanted you to know. What you
So
got
is
next?
Lee Cohen. He was part of that routine.
Bring it to me.
Forrest Lasso, the defender of the year, leaping over the ad boards and pirouetting his way toward the dugout.
Brought down one time, what a strike! Dion, he now has a brace. Quintanilla on the board. Into the back net, Dylan Mirris. Ketterer sends it out. And a goal there by El Paso.
My name is Hikaru Fujiwara. I play midfield, attacking midfield.
Puts it in, falls down, so like Fujiwara. On Evans, tries to get into the middle, shot by Fujiwara.
At first, when I came here, I was a little chubby kid, you know, and I didn't get that much playing time at first. And, you know, the first fall season, I think I had like the 12% starting percentage. But then as the year went on, I was able to play a little bit more, you know, got a little bit more physically ready for the game, and thankfully they gave me another chance after that. And since after the first year, you know, I was able to, you know, grow from that. I think at first it was my brother, you know, he joined the academy, and then I think that got me into this, and, you know, he introduced me to the, you know, the highest level of soccer that we have in, you know, youth soccer in America, which is, you know, which is amazing. And it set me on the right path for me to, you know, even stand here now and live my dream, I guess, at this point. And I think the Revs organization did a very good job of it. And, you know, yeah, the academy is a perfect way to get here. And, you know, it's a good way for youth players to, you know, build up their skills and, you know, physicality as well to get here. Last year was a big year for me, I think. I mean, especially Corona hit, you know, I had to stay with the second team. I was kind of lucky for me to be able to, you know, experience the pro, you know, experience fully. So that helped me out a lot. It was a good step for me last year for me to, you know, get to this point now. It's great to see, you know, I mean, I think they made this bridge, I guess, for Revs too, for players like me and Kobe that haven't physically adjusted to the first team yet, but are able to, you know, have the skill-wise and get some minutes in with the actual pro soccer games. So that helps out a lot, and it's a good bridge to have in between academy and first team.
News and notes from around USL League One. Well, Ford Madison and Toronto FC 2 have been scoring some goals as of late. They both got a win last weekend, and part of that Toronto FC 2 win was Garrett McLaughlin powering TFC 2 to their first win back in the league since 2019. And USL League 2 is underway. USL Academy League is getting underway here in the next few weeks. So this will be a fun summer of soccer. Here is the team of the week, led by the aforementioned Garrett McLaughlin. A brace for him on the night. Mario Salomis also makes the list. A beautiful goal in the win against Tormenta last weekend. And what just happened last weekend? Well, we saw the two games from Wednesday, TFC 2 and FC Tucson and Ford Madison Union Omaha. And then going back to last Saturday, TFC 2 also getting a win on that night, while Chattanooga opened their new CHI Memorial Stadium under the lights with a win. And speaking of TFC 2, they'll be back in action against North Texas Soccer Club. That is the next game on the docket, a 5:30 start tomorrow right here on ESPN Plus, or if you're watching in Canada on YouTube. McLaughlin was able to get the brace on the night, and that was enough to get the 2-1 win over North Texas, who will be playing Toronto FC 2 for the second straight weekend. Here are your other fixtures. 4 games on Saturday and then 2 midweek games. Fort Lauderdale will host Ford Madison, while Union Omaha will head out to the desert and take on Toronto FC 2. So the second half here from Gillette Stadium is on the way. Fort Lauderdale and New England Revolution 2 coming up next. Getting set for the second half from Gillette Stadium. It's 1-0 to New England Revolution 2 over Fort Lauderdale. It's time to look at our first half highlights presented by Gillette. We start in the 12th minute, and chances would really start to come for this New England side as they were on the front foot in this match, and Mafla was dangerous down that left side for Revs 2 in that first 45 minutes. We'll see if he can continue that here for this Revolution 2 side. And as the half continued, there would be more chances here for for New England. There was Mafla again, sending that ball into the box for New England. New England would stay on the front foot as this half continued. To be a foul, and that would set up the goal in the 17th minute for New England. Rosansky with the assist, and it's Pierre Caille scoring his first pro goal for New England Revolution 2. That put them on the score sheet first, made it 1-0 to the center back getting the goal. And then just moments later, Fort Lauderdale would draw a penalty. Caputo going down, but in the 21st minute, Hundal would be denied from the spot. Earl Edwards Jr. coming up with the big save to keep it at 1-0. And that is the halftime scoreline as we speak. So Edwards Jr. coming up there with a massive save. Our halftime stats presented by Geico. The possession is in favor of New England, but Fort Lauderdale is still right there in terms of shots and shots on target. And a big second half upcoming for this Fort Lauderdale side, trying to find a result here on the road. So the teams are on the field, and we are just about set to go for this second 45 minutes. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for spending some of your Friday night with us as we look at what is to come for Fort Lauderdale. Quick turnaround with the game against Ford Madison at home. That game is on Tuesday. And then 3 games upcoming with Toronto FC 2 as they move to the Orlando area to join the first team. They will be playing the local team, if you want to call it that, a couple of times in the state of Florida. One halftime sub, it's coming for Fort Lauderdale, and it is Mitchell Curry coming on. Making way is Abel Caputo. So we are underway in this second 45 minutes. New England trying to hold on to a halftime lead, something they were unable to do last time out against Chattanooga, while Fort Lauderdale trying to come back like they did against Chattanooga on the road, but hold on to the result in the end. And there is Curry, who has come on. That's brought to you by Santander Bank. Lou Young there to cover in front of Mafla. And now it's Evans, who is on a yellow card. Harden having to step in. This opens up. Renix for Mafla, and the flag was up. Well, you thought Renix might just take that himself. There were a couple of white jerseys there in the middle. And Mafla just went a little bit too early, and that threat is ended. Callender distributing from the back, and here's Mendez. Knocking this up over the top. Getting pulled down there is Hundal. He'll try to go quickly, but Kaye stepping in, and Fort Lauderdale will take its time here. Can Fort Lauderdale muster up? Evans, back post. Corner kick, Fort Lauderdale. O'Hearn was taking no chances in that situation. It'll be Harvey Neville that will swing this in. Here's the in-swinger. Mendez was up for it. And on the follow, Mendez puts this out of play. Good chance that for Fort Lauderdale. Ball over the top. Renix battling for it. Once again with Mendez. Rivera will pick this up. Damian Rivera taken off the ball by Modesto Mendez. He's been putting in a massive shift so far for Fort Lauderdale. And now it's Penn. Holding possession here. Finds Poplawski. Wide for Lou Young, who pushes this ahead for Evans. Lou Young putting pressure on here at the back, trying to win a ball back. And now Rivera. Switch of play, just too far there for Connor Presley. Well, Fort Lauderdale trying to keep the pressure on here. Trying to draw parallels from the last time they met. The first half was dominated by the home side, much like this first half was, but once the second half started, it was the away side that really got things going. Just the only difference tonight is New England was able to find a first half goal. It ended 1-0 on that night. I'm curious to see what the final score is going to be here tonight. And a foul in the midfield. This will be a free kick going the way of New England. Look at it on the NL replay. It was Curry getting to the end line, losing possession. And then the foul just pulled back by Harden. Edwards Jr. distributes. Headed out of play by Lou Young. Played down the wing. What can New England conjure up here? Sierakowski against Harden, blocked down by the center back. Rosansky. And New England will take a time on the ball here. O'Hearn through the lines. Cross coming in. Rivera's there at the back post. Might fall for Mafla. Good first touch by Rivera. It opens up for Damian Rivera, and Mafla puts it in. But the flag is up. The second time Mafla has been called for offside in this second half. Drake Callender coming up with another big save on the NL replay. Look at that footwork, though, in tight spaces by Damian Rivera. And Mafla in an offside position. Here's a challenge on this near side. Neville and Mafla getting tangled up. And a yellow card issued to Harvey Neville. '18 years old, out of Manchester. Look at it on the NL replay. Mafla sends this in right off the chest. Good build-up here from New England. Rivera finds space. Damian Rivera, the cross! And it's put out of play by Harden again. He's come up with some massive defensive moments here in this second half. This has been good end-to-end action. Fort Lauderdale has had its moments, New England as well. It's a jet blue corner kick. In swinger from Rosansky. Flicked along and headed out by Penn. Presley. Cross comes in. Callender up to grab it, and he was fouled in the process. Another look at it on the NL replay. Needing Dooley's there at the apex. Evans. Here's Curry. Trying to turn that corner. Curry gets the cross away. Spilled there in the middle. Edwards did come away with it, and now is this going to be a foul just outside the area? Yes. Kaye and Curry getting tangled up there at the end line. Here it is again. You can see, yeah, just the legs getting taken out on the cross. And this is inches outside the 18-yard box. Josh Penn stands over this set piece. 10 minutes into this second half. Penn whips this in. Good ball across. Falls there at the penalty spot. Curry puts it out of play. And a corner kick upcoming for Fort Lauderdale. Again on the NL replay. Great service in. Just nobody there to redirect it towards goal, and it fell for Mitch Curry and just couldn't find the frame of goal. And now Noah Allen has another corner kick. Sent in. Penn brings this down. Josh Penn, a swing and a miss. Still Penn battling for it. A player on the ground is Presley. Trying to dislodge it, and Rivera sends it out. On the follow-up, finds Curry, and Curry scores, but the flag is up. So close again from Fort Lauderdale. The offside flag denying Fort Lauderdale like it just denied New England on the other end a few moments ago. Like a rugby scrum in there with Penn trying to hold it up. Finally was cleared. And this shot was well off target. Curry was coming from an offside position. Here comes Fort Lauderdale quickly back the other way. Evans. For Neville. Sprays it out wide for Allen. Mendez, a couple of quick touches. Poplawski. New England wanted the foul in that situation. They come away with the ball anyway. Michel will switch it for Mafla. The Colombian left wing back tonight. Curry for Hundal. Space down the right. Pardon me, down the left. It's Penn cutting in field. Josh Penn. Shot is saved by Edwards Jr. It looked like Penn wanted to cut into his right foot. Kept it out wide, and the cross was just too close to Edwards Jr. Good action so far in this second half, and it continues. Ball played ahead. Mafla blocked down by Mendez. Corner kick New England. Here comes the jet blue corner kick. Lofted in. and over everybody's head. Allen will let this roll out for a throw-in. Callender, pressure here from Renix. Now Neville. It is kept in play. Penn. Now Harden. Tough spot here all the way into the corner. Here's Rivera, now Renix with his back to goal. Allen. That ball did go out of play. Well, the SiriusXM Listen free event is on now through June 8th. Catch 24/7 soccer, including USL All Access, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM FC, channel 157, plus thousands of channels filled with entertainment. Download the app to hear it all free. Go to SiriusXM.com/freekick to learn more. Right at the hour mark here from Gillette Stadium. Week 8 in USL League One. It's a rematch of the opening game of the season across the league. From April the 10th, a 1-0 win for New England Revolution 2. And Pierre Caillet's goal is the difference. Here's Justin Renix. Evans. This game very well poised here at the hour mark. Edwards comes off his line. Hundal goes down. And if this is not going to be a penalty, why is it not a yellow card? You feel like in that situation it needs to be one or the other for simulation on Hundal. Here's a look at it on the NL replay. I'm not so sure he was touched. An interesting decision there from the referee, Christian Centeno, not to award a yellow card to Sean Hundal. As Edwards Jr. will put this back into play. And Neville charging right down the middle. Cleared out of play.
So I grew up with like teamwork being basically my home. I would work there. I played like 3 leagues there. I would have my birthday parties there. It was like my go-to spot. Yeah. And
Looks like a couple of subs readying for New England on the far side.
I call it my second.
Lou Young's cross all the way through, tracked down by Penn. Penn to the end line, gets another cross away. Hundal was cut off, and Mafla just puts this out. Another corner kick for Fort Lauderdale. They make something of this here. Allen on the in-swinger. Penn puts this back in on the turn. The shot by Evans is wide. And it looks like a couple of subs getting set to come on. It'll be Ryan Spalding along with Manny Silva. Ryan Sierakowski will be one of those replaced. And Christian Mafla as well, those subs presented by Santander Bank, the official bank of the New England Revolution. So Sierakowski and Mafla get about an hour of action. First couple of subs utilized by Clint PA tonight. For Spalding, his 5th appearance. He's now played in every game, started 3 of them. For Silva, just his 2nd appearance. Made his pro debut last year against Orlando City B. Neville, a couple of touches here. Goes down, free kick, Fort Lauderdale. Curry, who's knocked off the ball by Spalding. And it looks like Spalding just slotting into that left wing back position. Coming into this game, Fort Lauderdale, 2nd in the league in conversion rate at 17%, only behind Chattanooga at 20%. As this cross is put out of play once again, and a corner kick for Fort Lauderdale. It's Harvey Neville who will swing this in. Another in-swinger for Fort Lauderdale. A lot of loft to this, and Earl Edwards Jr. is there to snag it. And he'll look to distribute quickly. Room for Damian Rivera. Running at this back line. Spalding there in support. The pass just too far out in front as Evans will track this down. Presley wins it back from Penn, who is down behind the play. Silva. Looks like Penn now back to his feet. Silva all the way infield for Renix. Presley on the right side. Renix again. Rosansky. Spalding just high. Just trying to side foot that into the top corner. Would have been a beautiful goal if he put it on frame. But just not able to test calendar. Look at it on the NL replay. Good job by Rosansky to win that back from Penn. Beautifully set up for Spalding, who just narrowly missed that top right corner. And Calendar scrambling across the goal mouth. Long ball over the top for Evans. Still Evans. Now Neville. Lou Young. Cutting to the end line and winning a corner kick. 3rd corner kick of this second half. Or pardon me, 5th corner kick of this second half now for Fort Lauderdale. Adding up pretty quick here for the away side. But can they find that equalizer? Josh Penn. Such a versatile player for this Fort Lauderdale side. Play this in short and now get it back. Penn as it headed right back out. Spalding couldn't possess. Neville cutting infield, pressure from Renix, and now Renix will get New England out in transition. Manny Silva. Damian Rivera has been dangerous on the ball tonight. Will cut this back infield, cross to the back post. Allen is there to clear it out. Free kick won by New England and Michel. .20 minutes to go here from Gillette Stadium. And a foul by Evans, who's on a yellow card already. He had a nervy moment there in the first half with the foul. And this time he fouls Presley. Let's look at it again on the NL replay. It's definitely a foul. I don't know if that's yellow card worthy. Rosansky arguing that case. It'll be another set piece opportunity. Michel and Rosansky stand over it. Michel whipped this in. Preferred the in-swinger, much like Fort Lauderdale. And Presley keeps it now. Michel back on that left foot. This will be sent in again. Headed back for Rivera. And Hundal thumps it clear. Plenty of League One action coming up this week. It all gets going tomorrow in Arlington, Texas, as North Texas welcome in TFC 2. And a whole slate of games there at 7 o'clock Eastern time, including Tormenta and Madison. Should be a fun fixture with those two teams. Madison will be taking on this Fort Lauderdale team on Tuesday, so a quick little two-game trip for the Mingos, and 3 games in a 6-day span, with Wednesday's win against Omaha, now on the road against Tormenta, and then they'll finish it out against Fort Lauderdale. A real early season test for Forward Madison. Lou Young ahead for Curry. His first touch let him down. And a goal kick. Sub coming on. It'll be Dairon Reyes coming on, replacing Josh Penn. Another one of those Cuban national team call-ups. Dairon Reyes, 17 years old, will make his 4th appearance in this 2021 campaign. That sub brought to you by Santander Bank. Second sub used tonight by Darren Powell. And for Reyes, in his 2nd season with Fort Lauderdale, made 5 appearances last year, did score a goal. Clint P.A. just urging his team here to hold on as we get into the final quarter of an hour plus stoppage time. Look at the NL replay. Switching the play for Mendez. Neville. Played into space. Justin Rennicks. He might be in on goal. Justin Rennicks for New England. Saved by Callender. As good a chance as you'll have if you're Justin Rennicks and just not able to provide the finishing touches. A look at it on the NL replay. He was clear in on goal. He's trying to go at this with his right foot, and the angle was really closed down after a bit of a heavy touch. And back the other way, it's Curry. Cross coming in, and this is deflected back to Earl Edwards Jr. as Hundal was waiting for it. So 15 minutes to go here from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. New England Revolution 2 holding on to this 1-0 advantage. Pierre Caillet's goal all the way back in the 17th minute is the difference. We have seen some tremendous saves tonight by both Earl Edwards Jr. and Drake Callender. Could have had definitely a few more goals going both ways, if not for the tremendous exploits by both goalkeepers. Long ball played for Spalding, who cuts in field. Spalding still going. Now it's Rennicks again. Puts the brakes on, trying to find Spalding. Now a long shot will go out of play. That might have taken a deflection, and it did. It's out for a corner. And Rosansky will take this. A jet blue corner kick. Another in-swinger. And this one lofted up and over onto the roof of the goal. The United Soccer League, all 12 League One clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. Poplawski for Allen. Poplawski on it again. Mendez will have to play this all the way back to Callender. Fans, follow your club and the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Join the more than 12 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN Plus and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Silva cutting in field. Looks like another sub readying to come on for Clint P.A. in New England. Caillet. Rosansky down the line for Damian Rivera. Renix trying to carry it in himself, and he was taken off the ball. It's Dairon Reyes trying to play it ahead for Curry, and it will run all the way through for Edwards Jr. Reyes working in tight spaces, finds Hundal. Now Poplawski. Allen joining in on the attack. Poplawski has his cross blocked down. Neville. Lou Young. And now Evans. It's deflected out. Fort Lauderdale trying to go quick. Hundal. This one clipped in for Evans, who heads this towards goal. An easy save for Edwards Jr. When will that goal come, if it comes, for Fort Lauderdale? New England trying to hold on to this 1-0 advantage. The lone win for New England coming against Fort Lauderdale. Since then, 2 losses and a draw. Coming up next for New England, it'll be a trip to Richmond to take on the Richmond Kickers. As 4 of the next 5 are away from home, as it's played ahead for Hundal. Evans, saved by Edwards Jr. Been a busy night for Edwards Jr. in goal, and he has really put on a master class in terms of making some big saves. That was the penalty early on by Sean Hundal, and then back the other way for Drake Callender. He's come up with a couple of big saves as well. Good night for goalkeeping. This was to deny Justin Renix again. Renix has been close, just has not been able to beat Drake Callender, the Golden Bear, besting the Hoosiers so far. That ball did go out of play. Throw-in coming for New England. Another sub coming for New England. It'll be Noel Buck, and he replaces Damian Rivera, who had a very solid game. So Buck, the younger of the 2 Buck brothers, both on the bench tonight. It'll be Noel, who would get about 7 minutes plus stoppage time. That's brought to you by Santander Bank. We asked Clint Piet about Buck as he scored his first pro goal last time out against Chattanooga. He really likes his upside for the future. It's just whether he can continue to grow and eventually earn that homegrown contract. His brother Joe will be playing his college soccer at Georgetown. 2019 national champions, Georgetown Hoyas. Neville and Silva collide. A free kick is given the way of New England. Still one substitution remaining for New England. 2 windows left for Fort Lauderdale. They've only made 2 subs. Rebs have made 3. Michel. Rosansky. They'll play it along the back line. Dulis. Edwards Jr. The offside flag coming up. Time starting to run thin here in Fort Lauderdale. What do they have left? Too heavy for Lou Young. We've talked to Darren Powell about the different options that Fort Lauderdale has at its disposal in terms of goal scoring. So far, 5 different goal scorers this year, but it's really been Sean Hundal who has led the way with 4 goals. With so many options, so it seems like every night you're asking who's going to step up to get that moment, and so far tonight, they have been stymied. A lot of credit goes to Earl Edwards Jr. Spalding, too heavy and out of play. Fort Lauderdale trying to go quickly. Good combination play. Curry gets the cross away. Dooley sends it right back out. On the turn. Couple of pivots. Now a good cross coming in, and too far out in front of Sean Hundal as Edwards Jr. eats this up. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Rosansky. Can New England put this one away for good? They've had plenty of chances to double its advantage, but unable to do so as of yet. And they'll hold the throw-in. Substitution coming on. Joshua Saavedra, 17-year-old out of Miramar, Florida, comes on. Replaces Poplawski. Sub brought to you by Santander. Spalding into the corner. And a corner kick won by New England, and they'll just take their time to put this back into play. Rosansky will make the slow walk over. I'll play this one short. Michel. Now Rosansky clips this in. Renix. Kaye. Neville trying to play this in behind. Curry now. Mitch Curry to the end line, knocked out of play by Dooley's. Corner kick upcoming as we enter stoppage time. And the United Healthcare stoppage time will be 4 minutes. Fourth official, Catherine McCormick, putting that up. Ball sent in. Deflection will find Allen, who will send this back towards goal. And out of play. Edwards Jr. to send this deep. Possessed by Renix. Gets it wide. Spalding. Here's Noel Buck. Just kind of waiting for Fort Lauderdale to put some pressure on them and win the ball back. And now they're just passing it around them until they put it out of play. Hundal trying to advance this here for Fort Lauderdale. And it'll be Hundal to commit the foul, and more precious seconds will tick off the clock. Renix gets tripped up. And now Michel. All the way into the corner. And now they'll just hold it there as long as possible. And a goal kick won by Fort Lauderdale. Will there be one more chance for Fort Lauderdale tonight? Here's Evans. Lou Young playing this down the line. Hundal, can he keep it in play? Yes, but Kaye wins possession. Here's Mendez. He's putting quite a shift tonight, both these center backs have. Now Allen, still marauding up and down that left touchline. Here he goes again. Can he get across away? It's headed away and out for a corner kick. Last chance for Fort Lauderdale. They scored on a corner kick last week. Will Callender come forward? At this point, you might as well. Allender will stay back. Neville to provide the service. They'll hold things up here. Be a good ball in. They'll have to do it again. Curry and Edwards Jr. This is now surely the last kick of the game. Everybody back defending. Just about everybody in there for Fort Lauderdale. Driven ball in. Presley heads it out. As far as Allen, maybe one more chance. Neville gets taken out. And there's the final whistle. New England closes out a 1-0 win over Fort Lauderdale tonight. Couple of 1-0 wins for New England Revolution 2 on the season. And Clint Pie has his second win on this 2021 campaign. Pierre Caillet's goal is the difference. Two coaches chatting things over as they walk off the field. It's time to look at our save of the match. It is presented by Michelob Ultra. And it was Earl Edwards Jr. on the penalty in the first half. So there's the Michelob Ultra save of the match. Edwards Jr. a strong night in goal and just his second appearance here in League One for Revs 2 this season. Now the two goalkeepers, really good games from both sides tonight. But it's New England Revolution 2 to come away with the victory. A 1-0 win, just like they did it on April 10th. We'll come back and wrap things up here from Gillette Stadium. It finishes New England 1, Fort Lauderdale 0. It's the Dan O'Brien Automotive Group postgame as New England Revolution 2 wrapping up a 1-0 win over Fort Lauderdale CF for the second time this season. New England takes down Fort Lauderdale by that scoreline. It's time to look at our play of the match. It's presented by NL, and it was the lone goal in this game. Pierre Caillet gets that goal on the assist from Jake Rosansky. Big moment there for Caillet. Getting his first pro goal, and because he scored, he is also our United Healthcare Player of the Match, Man of the Match. So Pierre Caillet, big night for him. as he gets the lone goal through the 90 minutes tonight. And it's time to look at our full-time highlights presented by Gillette. And we just saw the goal, but there was plenty of good action throughout this match. There was the foul that led to the free kick. And here was the free kick and the goal. It comes from a set piece tonight for New England, as Fort Lauderdale switches off just for a moment. Kaye able to redirect that on frame, and New England gets the lone goal on the night. There would be plenty of good goalkeeping in this game, though, as this would be the penalty just moments later, as Sean Hundal would go to the spot, and he eventually would be denied by Earl Edwards Jr. So Edwards Jr. comes up with a big moment in the match for New England. And then come the second half, there'd be moments really for both sides. Good build-up play. Rivera trying to set that up. He was denied by Callender, and Mafla put it in, but he was in an offside position. So that one wiped off the board. So New England would have a goal taken off the board, and so would Fort Lauderdale. This a near miss for the away side on the night. Scramble for the ball, and then on this shot, it would find Curry, and he was maybe just a foot offside. Really close call, but that one taken off the board as well. So it would stay at 1-0, and with 15 minutes to go, Justin Rennicks trying to put this one away. Look at this ball in behind, though, from Spalding, finding the space for Rennicks. If you're Justin Rennicks, it was this touch right here. It put him too close to Callender, who was coming off his line, and eventually Callender was able to make the save and keep it at 1-0. Gave his team hope, but in the end, not enough. The Geico full-time stats, even on shots. The possession was pretty even. This game was there for the taking, at least for Fort Lauderdale to find a result, but in the end, not able to do so. And a look at the Dan O'Brien Automotive Group standings. It's New England Revolution 2. They moved up to 7th in the table on 7 points. And they have played the same amount of games now as Richmond, while they will be level with Chattanooga, Forward Madison, and the Kickers as well. Here's what is to come this weekend. 4 games tomorrow, a game on Tuesday and on Wednesday, so plenty of League One action. It all starts tomorrow, 5:30 Eastern from North Texas. So that does it tonight here on Friday night to start this USL League One weekend. And it started just how this season started, a 1-0 win for New England Revolution 2. For our entire crew, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Gillette Stadium, where it finishes New England 1 and Fort Lauderdale 0. Stay tuned the rest of the weekend for plenty more USL League One action on ESPN Plus and YouTube. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.